I work hard every mother day, I work hard.
Hey TCF family, join me in congratulating Gail for being April's Member of the Month. So we're going to kind of interview her, get to know her a little bit better, and all that good stuff. So Gail, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Very honored, privileged, surprised.
Long time coming, right? Just been working your whole life for this, right?
There you go. Right.
So we want to get to know you a little bit better. So kind of tell us about your fitness journey, everything like that. What kind of got you started into CrossFit, fitness in general, and all that good stuff?
All right. When I was in college, my senior year, I started working at a gym. Prior to that, I had never exercised, never played sports growing up, nothing like that. So I started working at a gym at the front desk, and then it honestly wasn't until after I quit that part-time job that I had to start paying for my membership, because when you work there, you had a free membership.
Right.
And once I had to start paying for my membership, then I actually started working out. And so I guess at that point, I was 21, 22. And from that point on, I continued to exercise. Took little breaks after having 3 different daughters. Took a little breather after giving birth. And then would eventually get back into it. When I was probably 40-ish, I started losing my momentum to work out by myself. So then I finally started doing group class. So I started doing body pump, spinning classes, things like that to get me there, get me motivated.
Yeah.
And from there on, I hardly ever really work out by myself anymore. When I was 47 is when I started doing CrossFit.
Nice.
Yep. And I guess the rest is history. I'm still doing it. So.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So you when you were working at the gym, you weren't actually working out until you actually had to start paying for it?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it goes to show when you get something for free,
you don't really take you're not grateful for it, really.
Yeah, I did not take advantage of it at all. But once you start paying for it, the money's coming out of your wallet. All of a sudden, you're like, I want to get my money's worth.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And so, what was like that initial reason why you started working out? I would assume kind of over like the years and stuff like that, the reasons why you work out has changed.
Yes. So when I was in my early 40s, I went through a really rough time where you may even consider it borderline nervous breakdown. Major anxiety, started having panic attacks, and realized I needed to do something other than medication. I tried medication, it didn't work for me. So I realized I've got to do something to help control this anxiety if I'm going to have to live with this for the rest of my life. And I found out the harder I pushed myself in workouts, the better it helps me control the anxiety.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like what do you call it? The working out is like the most underutilized drug or something like that. Right,
yes.
I mean, it's so good for your body, kind of eases down your nervous system, kind of with the anxiety, and then like kind of make sure everything is working properly. I mean, we're meant to move, right? Yes,
definitely. And I tell people all the time, because of having gone through that experience in 2012, I'll say you have to get your heart rate up. You can't just say, I'm going to go for a walk and say, that you exercised. That can be one form of exercise, but I'm saying you've got to power walk. You've got to jog, run, sprint, whatever.
You're breathing heavy.
Yes, you have got to get that heart pounding to really reap the benefits and to what I call, it's like flushing out the anxiety.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, and then do you feel like that working out and stuff is still a really good way to kind of manage your anxiety and stuff like that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep, and the more you exercise, the more your body craves it.
Really?
Yes, and so I can tell after, like, if I go 2 days in a row or 3, I can really only do, like, typically no more than 3 in a row.
Then you start doing something.
Yeah, then you say, okay, I've got to do something.
Nice. Go out for like the walk on the beach or come into the gym or something like that.
That's right. Got to do something. Yeah.
There we go. Cool. And so you mentioned that you have the 3 daughters, stuff like that. I know that 2 of them currently come to the gym.
Yes.
I know Sarah's doing soccer right now,
Yep,
right?
that's right.
Yeah. And so how did you kind of get them into, or maybe it was your husband, how did y'all kind of get them into working out, doing sports and stuff like that?
So over at Clubworks, they used to have a sports performance for, I think it was ages 13 to 18. And really it was like a mini CrossFit boot camp, really.
Okay.
They really worked them on sprinting, wall balls. They did a lot of your CrossFit movements. And at that particular box, you had to be at least 15 to join the actual CrossFit classes. So once our oldest daughter turned 15, she said, I don't want to do sports performance anymore. I want to up my game. I want to start doing CrossFit.
Okay.
And so she did, and because at those ages they didn't have driver's license, and so we would go, either me and or my husband, and we would have to wait around for an hour. Well, we would walk around the track or what have you. But then once our oldest daughter joined, I said, maybe I should do this. And so about a month into it, then I joined. And then a couple of months later, my husband's like, well, I think I'm going to join too. And we just really turned it into a family exercise routine.
That's cool. So it's, cause like with me, my parents started and they got me into it. So it's like almost the opposite way for y'all, right? Your daughters were doing it, I guess, to help out with basketball or with soccer or something like that. And then they kind of roped y'all into it, right?
Yes, which my husband, I reminded him of this the other day and he did not remember. He tried probably 5 years ago to get me to do CrossFit.
Oh, really?
He did, and he told me, he said, I can't do it because of my back. He said, but it'd be perfect for you. And I said, I can't flip tires, because that's what I thought it was, right?
Yeah.
I thought, I guess my mentality was CrossFit Games, right?
No.
And I didn't know anything different. And I said, I can't go there. I can't flip tires. I'm not strong like that. Are you crazy? I'm not going by myself.
Right.
And so he did not remember that he tried to get me to actually do CrossFit like 5 years ago. But,
I mean, it's crazy though. People maybe see the CrossFit Games or see those high level competitors and think, oh, that's what I have to do. And I mean, I tell people all the time, no, we're not. So many people in here, they think that we're flipping tires and stuff all the time.
You're right.
When's the last time we flipped a tire? Right?
I honestly have never flipped one.
Right.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing CrossFit again?
Almost 4 years, 3.5.
And so out of 4 years, never flipped a tire. I'd say I've been doing it for 8-9 years, and I've probably flipped 2 or 3 tires, and that's it.
Okay.
Right. And so it's like, maybe in like the next half a year or something, we'll flip a tire.
That's right. Then I can say, hey, I flipped a tire.
Yeah, exactly. Finally, 5 years in or something like that. And then, so it's awesome that you've been consistent over, I mean, just your whole lifespan, because you said you started at what,
21, 22,
right? And then now we're continuing with that. And I mean, you obviously hit bumps along the road, and then like one of them is you just had foot surgery and stuff like that. And so it's awesome that you're saying so consistent, even after you've gone through surgery and stuff. I mean, your foot, you stand, you do a lot of things on that. So how's it been kind of working around that kind of surgery?
In the beginning, it was frustrating because I felt like I could hardly do anything, because at that point I was still wearing the boot. And was very nervous about screwing something up, because, at the end of the day, it's your foot. You kind of need that for the rest of your life. And I didn't want to hobble for the rest of my life. So I was trying to be overly cautious and not overdo, And I would do the bike or I would do rowing, but I would really felt like I was using my...
Just that other leg.
Yeah, like, really beefing up my left leg. But then I realized there's still so much you can do, even like I was mentioning, kettlebell deadlifts, something that's minimal, not putting so much pressure on my foot, but still being able to go through the movements.
Yeah.
And I think too, being in the environment, keeping consistent with working out with the same people. And even if you're not doing the exact same movements they are, you're still working out. And wherever you are, physically, mentally, nursing a foot injury or a foot surgery or what have you, doing your personal best.
Right. Right. And then, I mean, it's awesome that you still came in even when you had the boot and stuff, and then used it as an opportunity to maybe work on upper body stuff, or still like come in and continue that consistent habit of coming to the gym like 3 times a week or something like that, because that's super important. Where you probably could have easily been like, hey, I had surgery, I'm going to sit out for a month, and then you kind of almost fall off something that you've been working for your whole life.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, and that was a big fear too with having the foot surgery, and I'm going to have my left foot done also, is not wanting to lose all of the gains. You know, you work so hard to make little gains or just stay at the same weight.
Right.
And I'm kind of a little worried once I finally get to pick up a barbell. I'm like, oh gosh, how long is it going to take me to get back to where I was? But it'll come. It'll come.
I mean, hopefully you're able to still work through the other foot and stuff like that, just like we've done with your right foot. And then we can kind of, again, keep moving forward, keep progressing, so we don't start backtracking at all.
Right. Yeah. That's exactly
And I mean,
right.
it just shows how we can adjust, right, and we can scale for whatever your needs are and stuff like that. Right, foot, ankle, knee, whatever it is, right, we can adjust for it.
Well, and it's great with CrossFit. You can modify anything and everything. So and you can still get a great workout.
Exactly.
So it's
great.
Yeah.
And so then it's like we were talking about like this challenge, but what was your biggest challenge prior to joining the TCF family? Like, I know that we're working through this now, but before you joined TCF, what do you think that biggest challenge was for you?
I think initially just overly intimidated. You see, and even hear a lot of the people that are super strong, super fast. They can RX almost every workout, and I'm like, I am not that person. I am not that strong. I'm not this. I'm not that. And then finally, at the end of the day, I said, you just have to go in and do your personal best.
Yeah.
You know, of all people, my 18-year-old told me, comparison will kill you. And comparison is good if you can use it to motivate yourself and push yourself. But when you use it to put yourself down and, I guess, discourage yourself, then comparison's not good.
Right.
So I think that was my biggest hurdle. Even when my husband tried, to get me to go do it by myself years ago, I was like, there is no way. It's like, those people are so strong, they're flipping tires.
Yeah.
And so now I obviously realize differently. But yeah, that was my biggest, I guess, challenge or hurdle.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because like within a group setting, you have that push from seeing someone able to maybe do something better than you can, or you're like, hey, we're about the same level and we need to and she's doing this, so I need to keep pushing. So you do have that drive, but then also, like you're saying, you need to focus on what's best for you today. Are you feeling the best? Right? Are you not feeling the best? Did you get good sleep last night? Did you not?
Yeah.
Like all that stuff plays into, hey, am I going to actually be able to perform my best today, or is it kind of come in, move, and just see what I can do today?
That's right.
Right.
Yes, half the battle was just showing up, right?
The heaviest weight is the front door. Right, you get in here, and then we'll take care of the rest.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that, but that's good. I had heard half the battle is just showing up. And, sometimes you don't feel like coming, and you get here and you have a phenomenal workout, and other times you don't feel like coming and you don't have a great workout. But even a bad workout is better than no workout at all.
Exactly, yeah. And then, so how did that challenge make you feel? How did like the intimidation make you feel?
I think it's important, not just as a mother, and I want to be a good role model to my daughters, but I think it's important to push yourself out of your comfort zone, because I think we miss out on a lot of opportunities if we don't. If I would have let the intimidation of walking through that front door stop me, I would have missed out on all these great friendships that I've made since coming through the TCF front door.
Exactly.
So I think not letting fear immobilize you, and I think we've seen that a lot this past year in our country.
Yeah.
It's very sad to see how people will allow fear to be their guide and their leader, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be frozen in fear. So.
I mean, it's almost like the unknown, right? And then it's like you try it out, or you try something or something like that. Then it's like it's no longer intimidating. You're no longer fearful of it, right? Take that first leap.
And that can be a baby step to something else bigger down the road.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Do you feel like that coming into the gym and stuff like that, or maybe just other aspects of your life? Do you feel like that kind of getting away or getting over that fear, that intimidation, has kind of bled into other things and stuff like that?
Sure. But I'm a people person, and I get my energy from people and from groups. So I can see where it would be harder for someone who is more of an introvert, not so much a chatterbox, not so much a people person. But, we don't have a whole lot of time to talk while we're in here anyway. So, for anybody who is an introvert and says, I don't want to do a group class, I don't want to do CrossFit, you don't really have to talk.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, the 8:30, y'all find a way to talk as often as possible.
Yes.
Yeah, the mid-morning classes, it's like a struggle just to try and get y'all to...
Right. Let's start talking.
We're here to work out.
That's right. It's because our coffee's kicked in.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Exactly. And then, so like, what other specific positive impacts have you seen since joining the TCF family?
I think in addition to the friendships, definitely in baby steps have gotten stronger. I know one thing right before my foot surgery that you were able to help me with is finally getting the rhythm of that kip.
Kip swing? Yeah.
Yes, the kip swing. Finally getting into the momentum there. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know, a few years ago I did a couple of toes to bar, but I'm not sure that it looked so good or if it was the right form.
Right.
Because I know another lady at the other box where I used to train was doing them, and the coach came over and said, "You're not doing them right." And I was like, I didn't realize there was more than one way to do a toes to bar.
Yeah.
So that's why I say I've done a few, but I can't do them now. But we'll see. We'll see.
They were working towards that, right?
Yeah.
You can't do them yet, right?
That's
we're
right.
working towards them, make sure that we can do them properly and stuff like that.
That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
because I would love to continue to do things with the right form and not have injuries, because injuries are depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is you're making progress and it's such a dead stop.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then you can't do anything, you can't work on the thing that you've been working on.
That's
or something
right.
like that.
And then you're so hesitant after that. And if whatever your injury may be, like for my husband it's his lower back, he still trains hard, but he's still in the back of his mind realizes I've got to be careful. Maybe I need to drop instead of doing one more rep or what have you.
Yeah, you gotta always have that in the back of your mind almost.
Yes.
And then that kind of affects everything else down the road. So do everything you can to prevent that.
Yes.
Move well, make sure you're stretching, all that good stuff.
Yes, and that's what I
All the
love
things.
about y'all as coaches, being able to say you're not doing that right. You're going to injure yourself. Because we can't see ourselves. Even if there were mirrors in here, I might be looking at myself in the mirror going, "Oh, my form looks great," and you're like, "No, it doesn't."
Yeah, you have. It's like in the middle of the workout. If you're able to watch yourself the entire time, you're not doing the workout hard enough, probably. Because if you can sit there and critique everything.
Right.
You're like, you should be focusing on just like moving well, and
That's
then
right.
I'll help kind of adjust everything for you.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, you and Carrie and G have just been phenomenal modifying my workouts throughout the recovery of this foot surgery.
Yeah.
So it's great because since I know I have to go through this again with my left foot, that I know, okay,
It's definitely doable.
yes, it is definitely doable.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, so what would you say to someone on the fence of joining? I know you kind of mentioned about the introvert, right? You don't have to talk. It is there. It is an option. You don't have to come in and talk.
Yes. Well, I think whether you are, honestly, introvert or extrovert, I love coming to a class where, for the most part, everybody's doing the same thing. And even if you're not doing, like right now, I can't do the barbell, but I'm still working like hamstrings if we're doing deadlifts. I'm doing deadlifts, so I'm just not doing them the same way you are. I'm definitely not using as much weight as you are because I can't just yet.
Right.
But I think just the energy that comes from being in a group of like-minded people who truly are giving 110%.
Right.
You know, I love that atmosphere about it, that it's so energizing to be around people who want to work hard.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like you get those like-minded people in the same room, and you just keep working.
That's
I mean,
right.
especially if working towards a very similar goal. I mean, they'll give you suggestions on like, hey, you've been struggling with this. This is what's helped me, and then you vice versa, helping each other out
Right.
and stuff like that.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is awesome.
And then the last thing is there anything else you would like to add, Gail? Anything for the people?
For the people. See, don't have anything for the people.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I would say just keep showing up. You know, just keep with the routine, and you know, if you have foot surgery or what have you, I know it can be very discouraging and depressing. But I think getting back into your routine as quickly as possible. I remember Dina even sharing, I don't know how many years ago, that she had some type of surgery. And at that point she couldn't work out, you know, the first few weeks or so, kind of like me. But she said that she would come in during the class time and just sit and watch, because she said, I didn't want to lose that routine.
Right.
So I think it's easy to get out of the routine of anything, you know, whether it be working out, going to church, getting up early, or what have you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just to push yourself, to get up, to go do it, and you know at the end of the day you're going to be so much happier and so much, I'd say, more pleased with yourself that you did it versus you didn't.
Right.
One of my workout mottos is talk yourself into it and not out of it.
Right.
Because it's so easy on some days to say, I don't want to go, I don't feel like going, I've got too much to do, what have you.
Right.
But I have found on the days where I've talked myself into still going, that I've never regretted it.
Right. Because it's almost some of like the best workouts or something like that,
Yes.
right? Where you go in
Yeah.
there, you're maybe like not feeling the best, or maybe it's like it's been a rough day, and like, hey, just go in there, you just get it done, get over with, get that sweat on. Maybe it's like you just go super light that day or something like that, and just move around, talk with people, and then you'll feel better when you leave the gym than when you came in.
That's right. And don't let your age deter you either. You know, because CrossFit's for any age. You don't have to be teens, 20s, 30s. I mean, it's for any age. And
Right. Everything's adjustable to whatever you're feeling that day, whatever is going on in your life and stuff like that.
That's right.
So
That's right.
awesome, Gail. Again, congratulations on
Thank
being
you.
April's Member of the Month. And thank you again.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the interview.
Yes, ma'am.